What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Sunday, August 20th, day number 19 inside the Big Brother house. Yesterday was a crazy day, and today was pretty much just as crazy. If you missed yesterday's update video, I highly recommend that you go check it out. There was a lot of wild things that went down. But just to recap kind of where we left off with things, Felicia, she won HOH and nominated Cameron and Jag with the intention to backdoor Hisam. Lots of fun stuff was happening yesterday. Like I said, there was all this messy gameplay where they ended up telling Cameron the plan, but not Red. And then Cameron told Red the plan, and then he figured out that, oh, the professors were just kind of lying to him. It's a whole wild mess. There was poop in a trash can. Go check it out. But today was veto. And before we get into the veto competition, one thing I did want to touch on from late yesterday night was Jared and Blue. I shouldn't even say yesterday. It was 2 nights ago. Jared and Blue. I mentioned their convo kind of late at the end of the video. About how, like, you know, it seemed like they were going to have like a casual showmance. We might actually have another casual showmance going on. But it seemed like, oh, they were going to have like a casual showmance and stuff. And then I just kind of like tuned out. I really wasn't paying too much attention to it, right? I had it up, but it was just kind of there. I was like, they're just doing the silly, you know, showmance, little flirty talks, right? Nothing important. Record the video, everything goes up, and then I go back and I start saying like, oh yeah, people are saying some stuff. So I go back and I watch. He's dropping major hints. At this point, I don't know how Blue has not figured it out. He basically goes on to say like, oh yeah, I have a secret inside this house. He's like, it's a secret that the audience, he's like, I wonder if the audience knows my secret, you know, like, I wonder if they know. And then he later on was talking about, you know, he's like, you know, yeah, my parents, like my dad was from Jersey, my mom was from Connecticut. He's like, you know what, I should stop. You're too smart. You'll start putting the pieces together. Jared, just stop. You need to shut your mouth. On top of that, he kept running his mouth and said some questionable opinions, questionable opinions on some things, and yeah, it was a bit of a wild combo, but anyway, that takes us to today, where again it was the veto day, and the first thing that we really needed to figure out was, with the plan to backdoor Hisam, will he get picked? If he gets picked to play a veto, it's not an actual backdoor. He could be a re-nominee, but everybody knows if you play in the veto, it is not a real backdoor. So will he get picked to play in the veto? No. The picks were Cory, Izzy, and Red, who were going to end up playing with Felicia, as well as Cameron and Jag. So that takes us into like, okay, seems like the backdoor is still a go. And at this point, a virtual lock. There's nobody there that wouldn't use the veto to backdoor Hisam if asked. So it seems like everything's going to go well, because if you're Red and you win and then they decide, oh, well, we don't want to backdoor Hisam, he's still going to take Cameron down. He's not going to leave Cameron up there. So it seems like everything should be a go for this to happen. It's going to be a pretty boring day, I think, going ahead, right? Well, how about Jared getting sick of having to be careful around Izzy with her feelings when she gets all upset about stuff and gets all worked up, and having to kind of like coddle her and calm her down. And he's getting a little tired of having to do that, you know, especially because they need her to keep their secret. Oh, okay, Mr. dropping major hints to Blue over here that you're not even in a real showmance with, you're in a casual showmance. Now you're getting tired of Izzy and having to keep the secret there. Okay. I don't think much of this will come into play anytime soon. but it's something to keep in mind that he's getting kind of sick of Izzy. He's expressing this to Cirie. Cirie kind of walked him back on it. We also know that Cory and Jared, who are getting much closer as kind of a duo in this game, we'll talk about that even later as well in this video. Cory also kind of weary of Izzy. He doesn't want to go far with her in this game, so keep an eye out for all of that. I don't think it's gonna. Anything's possible. We're probably seeing a Hisam backdoor this week, so never say never. But I don't think it's anything too much of a worry just yet. But keep it in mind as things develop. That takes us to the actual veto competition, and Jag wins veto. He actually wear a chicken suit all week, so that'll be kind of fun. There's some kind of other thing that goes along with it too, but we're not watching it in the feeds. They take the feeds down a lot for stuff. It's just like the sliming, and the stuff like that too. I think he's got like some kind of like, you know, do you remember when, you know, they did, what was it, the hot dog wiener thing that what's her face had to do on that one season? She had to cook the hot dogs all the time. There was the tour guide one that Alex on BB19 had to do, and like every so often there was a thing. Paulie, who we were just talking about on the challenge not too long ago. If you guys haven't watched the challenge, Paulie had a complete turnaround recently and has really kind of changed like his whole like aggressive personality. He's got that under control, kind of found out a lot about himself and found himself. So I recommend going checking it out. It was a really cool story. I'm shocked to say I really want to see Paulie on a TV show again. Anyway, back to the point. There's some kind of other thing that kind of goes along with the whole chicken suit that Jag has to wear, but he did win the veto. He will be taking himself off the block again, setting up even more perfectly in the motion the backdoor of Hisam. The competition, by the way, it sounds like it had a lot of gooey goop, and that Felicia actually had her very own Kathy moment where she like barely could get up. She was just like stuck and kind of rolling around, she said. So that'll be a lot of fun to see. So like I said, backdoor seems to be in motion, right? Jag's coming off. Someone will go up. Hisam should go up and have a seat, right? Well, Cirie starts cooking. And no, I don't mean in the kitchen. She starts cooking in the house. She says, hey, why not red? Why not red? Huh? And a lot of this, a lot of what's going to come here actually spars from a joke. Cory, a couple of days ago, had said this weird little joke where he's like, oh yeah, like all the people in the middle would be, you know, that's the alliance right there, right? Me, America, Red. I don't even think Mecole was in it. I think Bowie was in it. It was like the four of them. It was like Cory, America, Bowie, and Red, because they're kind of in the middle of the two alliances. He's like, oh, that's like the middlemen. And it was just like a throwaway joke. It's not a real thing. It's not. But it seems like they might think it is. And here's the other part of it. I put out a tweet. I think we're learning one of two things this season. Either Cirie is a chaotic master. She thrives in chaos even more than any edit of any show could truly portray how chaotic her games are. Or Big Brother is such a different format from the game she's used to playing that it gives her too much time to overthink all of her moves instead of just going with her gut instincts like she has to do on so many of those other shows. On Survivor, there's not a whole week until another eviction. They're having votes all the time. It's very quick. So it seems to me that one of two things here. Either Cirie is just always super chaotic, or she might not be able to handle Big Brother, because this is wild to watch. It's so entertaining. It is the most entertaining thing I've seen in a very long time, but it is chaos. We are living in a world where it is hashtag team fun feeds 24/7. So let's break down what happened here. She's talking about, possibly going for red. That kind of gets pushed down a little bit. They have an attempt to try and get a little bit of a meeting of the professors. Hisam kind of shows up in the HOH room and he was kind of pitching, Matt's the one that should be going up, right? And other people were saying, like, oh, maybe blue. Again, this is all just kind of, just go along with Hisam so he doesn't get suspicious. Like, oh, yeah, let's talk about what we're going to do. And he had this line where he's like, yeah, why get rid of a knight when you can get rid of a king? Refer to Blue being a knight and to Matt being a king. And Felicia, she's like, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that in the meeting. So they attempt to have all the professors up there to really kind of talk about the renoms and get everybody's opinions on it. But it never ends up happening. Mimi doesn't even end up making it to the meeting before Cameron ends up breaking it up, which is even still funny as well because he knows the name. He knows everybody in the alliance, but they're unaware that he knows about it. And Mimi not showing up, that actually causes even more tensions later because this is when the real chaos starts. Once the meeting fails, Cirie continues to waffle, and her, Felicia, and Izzy are all kind of chatting about, so many different shifting targets. They go from red to Bowie to America to Mimi. Matt was thrown in there. Jared was there for a little bit, and then he ended up leaving for a while. But they all are going around there, and they're saying, you know what? Actually, I think maybe Bowie's the one we should put up. No. Mimi, she's being real sneaky and she's not coming up to the meeting. Why does she feel so safe? What's going on there? How come nobody's coming up to the HOH room? Why aren't they showing respect? It's so chaotic. It's all over the place. It's wild. It doesn't make any sense at all. And I don't know if Cirie is just really bad at Big Brother or she's just always this chaotic and we're not fully aware of it on the other shows. Because this is madness. Again, maybe it's some kind of brilliant plan. Maybe this is how she gets those people around her to be sucked in even more, is causing all this chaos and they latch onto her for just kind of that pillar to grab onto. But man, this is wild to watch. It is amazing. Eventually, they're talking about Bowie potentially being someone that they're going to target. And a lot of times too, this isn't even for like this week. It's also for like, all right, we'll get Hisam and then next week we got to get them too. Oh, it's a mess. So then they finally kind of land after Bowie comes in, because that kind of changes the conversation. You can't talk about Bowie being a target when Bowie's in there. And they start talking about America more. And they're like, maybe, you know what? America, I think she's the best option to get out this week. Okay, so, well, that's a thing. Meanwhile, Jared and Cory, they weren't even in the room. They're chatting. Jared has been filling in Cory on all kinds of stuff. We mentioned yesterday the deck collectors, the alliance that had kind of formed with Cirie, Jared, Izzy, Blue, Matt, Jag, Felicia, and they were calling themselves the deck collectors. Then you had Cory getting filled in here from Jared with that. Jared then also told him about the brown sugar babes, which Mimi's in. And like the middleman thing, which again, it was like, wait a minute, the middle, like, hold on, wait a minute, oh, wait, what? So again, like there's this idea that there's this alliance with like Bowie, America, and Red, and like they're shifting over to the other side. Even Jared's like getting this info from Cirie. So I don't think it's, I honestly don't think it's her doing like game stuff. I think this is just her causing chaos. and not even realizing it. It's so wild. It's so wild to watch. And I'm loving every minute of it, but it's not good gameplay. It's not good gameplay. So anyway, they bring the news that, hey, new target, it's America. They bring that to Jared and Cory, and they're like, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. We've already started the Hisam thing. What are you talking about? Let's roll. We're too far in. We're too deep. We can't backtrack it now. We've got to keep going on it. What if he finds out after we've backtracked on it? What are we doing here? And especially Cory, because he doesn't want this. He's in a potential showman's opportunity with America, which, by the way, seems like it may be even going pretty well for him, because Jag was asking America's like, so what do you really think about Cory? And she's like, yeah, you know what? I'd be down. I'd be down for a little fling in the house, but not outside. So another casual showmance. It's funny because Jag even mentioned, he's like, that's literally like the opposite of what most people say in here. He's like, most people when they're in here, it's like, no, like, I don't want to do anything in here, but outside the house, we could try it. So it's an interesting little dynamic. Maybe it's just a new shift in the culture, and that's where we're going to see more of these. It's just a casual showmance. I'm all for it. Go for it, guys. Now, after Jared and Cory kind of successfully got the target back on the Hisam, they calmed down everything. Again, maybe there is a possibility. We didn't hear this, right? I don't know. It was not ever implied in any conversation that I heard between the two. Maybe Cirie was telling Jared to tell Cory this so that it kind of brings Cory into that chaos a little bit and he starts latching on even more. Again, I'm trying to give the benefit here that maybe there's a reason for all this chaos, but it seems like there's no method to this madness. They've kind of talked about it like, all right, yeah, like we've got a new alliance, right? They've kind of brought them in. They're like, no more messing around, right? There's no more messing around. Like, you guys are in the alliance. So now there's an alliance with Cirie, Jared, Izzy, Felicia, Bowie, and Cory. And then they would bring in Cameron and Red, who meanwhile, they're over in the back room planning the demise of Cirie and Felicia. So they've got a final five in mind that would be Bowie, Cory, and America plus themselves. And it's kind of funny because you know what? It clicked with me. It finally clicked with me what the dynamic between Red and Cameron is like. It's like that cartoon Pinky and the Brain. Do you guys remember Pinky and the Brain? Pinky and the Brain, it's Pinky and the Brain. One is stupid, the other's insane. Well, it's kind of what it's like with these two. They were these two lab rats. One was this like supposedly genius who would always come up with these plans to take over the world. That's Cameron. He's always saying something that's like maybe like half smart, but then the rest of it, it's like, you're lost, my guy. And then you've got, you know, that was the brain, but then there was also Pinky. Red's Pinky. Pinky was just a lovable little goof, right? You know, he was just always kind of like stumbling and bumbling. He was a little bit clumsy, right? But he always ended up like saving the day. Like they would have died if it wasn't for Pinky fixing everything. And that kind of feels a little bit what is going on with Red and Cameron. So Red is always coming up with these crazy ideas, or excuse me, Cameron is always coming up with these crazy ideas and theories on what they should do. Meanwhile, Red's like the one who's actually like, oh wait, well no, like we can use this information and then we can go and we do this. And he's like thinking it through a little bit clearer. It's a very, very wild dynamic. And all of this is building up to pressure cook. Now, we've ended with the target being back on Hisam, but could you imagine if for some reason between now and the veto ceremony, and it's very likely because we've already had just in today alone about what, 7 flips?
Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
You guys knew I wasn't going to get away. I wasn't going to let you guys get away without at least one of those this video. So we've already seen several of them. If for some reason it flips back off the target from Hisam, could you imagine a scenario where Hisam stays, finds out about the potential that he was going to be backdoored, and then heads in the pressure cooker? On top of that, with all this chaos of everybody's name getting thrown around, up in that bedroom, they were pretty much throwing out everyone's name that wasn't in that room. Like, everyone was up on for grabs. The only ones who weren't mentioned that were not in that bedroom were either holding the veto, related to somebody in that room, or they were named Cory. Everybody else was up for grabs. Everyone in their alliances, Bowie, Mimi, Matt, Jag, Blue, Cameron, Red, everyone was an option. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this is all going to develop as we head in the pressure cooker. It's like we couldn't have asked for a better way to be heading on into one of the most asked for competitions to return in a very, very long time. I'm so excited. There's so much fuel that is just sitting there ready to blow at a moment's notice. We just need that spark to set it off. And with this house, seems like sparks are always flying. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think they should stick to the plan and just get Hisam out at this point? Should they reverse course? Should they go after America? Should it be Blue? Should it be Cameron who just goes? Should, I don't know, they just say, get rid of Jared at this point? Does Cirie just cut her losses and just get rid of Jared and Izzy? I feel like Cirie might have an easier time if she just gets rid of Jared and Izzy. Just have herself in there. Maybe they're just causing too much trouble. I don't know what's going on. I don't even think anyone knows what's going to be happening. There's no way to know with this house. They're flipping on a dime. But let me know what you guys are thinking of everything going on. I'm loving every minute of this. But thank you guys again so much for watching. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. We do have an episode tonight where we will see how Felicia was able to win HOH. Very excited to see how that all plays out. We'll see the nominations and how they were kind of like, okay, what, like, how are we going to work this? Will we see some of the stuff with Jag kind of forming an alliance with them and then being like, whoa, wait, why do I have to be the one to go up? Now would probably be the time we would see when they were doing that. But we'll see everything that happens. Also, I want to see the Slimings. We never got to see any of the Slimings on the live feeds. So they'll be in that as well. Thank you guys again, though, so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you next time.